Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Rome Total War Remastered. Here today on the channel, we're going to be starting a brand new campaign series on the RTR Imperium Surrectum mod. We're going to be playing as the Roman Republic. So I hope you guys like the sound of it. I'll put in the description below if you guys would like to download it and play along with me. So, what does this mod do? Well, it ports over all of the Roma Surrectum 2 models from the old Rome Total War and brings historical authenticity to Rome Remastered. We've got a united Roman Republic, we've got Hellenic Egypt, and a really cool roster for Carthage, Gaul, and a bunch of really cool units for a lot of factions. I've been dying to do a campaign on this mod, so we're going to be playing on very hard campaign, very hard battle. We need 50 provinces and to be the supreme ruler of Rome. Now version 1.0 is on the workshop, so if you guys would like to download it, I do highly recommend it. So without further ado, let's start the campaign. Loading in here now. Alrighty, welcome to the campaign map. So the Scipii and the Brutii have been destroyed. That's fine, because we are a united Rome. So we're currently under the reign of Decius Maxentius. We have Rome, Arretium, Irinium is rebel, along with Batavium. We have Capua, Tarentum, Apollonia nearby, and we also have Rhegium, and Messana is rebel control. Okay, so this is always incredibly exciting, starting a campaign. I don't know where we're going to expand and conquer, because we want to try and gobble up as much rebel territory as we can. We could get drawn to the north against the Gauls, maybe down in Sicily with the Carthage and Greeks, or maybe eastward. So I'll do a quick toggle foe here because I want to show you guys the campaign map, all of it, because it has changed quite a bit. So the Gaelic Tribes are a little bit dispersed. Here is Germania. Here is the Celtiberians. Carthage is a lot bigger in this mod. They have most of the former Numidian territory. The Greeks have Syracuse and Massalia, of course, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to Messina. The Egyptians have Halicarnassus. Also, the Gauls have Ankara to simulate the Gaelic tribes in Asia Minor. The Seleucids have Susa as well. The Parthians have been pushed back slightly. They don't have this territory to the north. And the Getae have been pushed further back as well. So that's the campaign map. Let's get to work and see what we're working with. So Decius Maxentius is 60, 2-star command. We're not allied with anyone, nor are we at war. But I can't wait to show you guys the family tree. So as you can see, Severus here, his son. Then we've got the Scipio line here, married into the female line. We have Tiberius Brutus and Flavius Julius as well. So hopefully at some stage in the campaign they could be, and their descendants could be, consuls and proconsuls of the Roman Republic. Okay, so let's have a look at recruitment wise. So we have Vilites, Samnite units, we've got Principes and Astarte as well. I think pushing for Arretium is probably the play. So, Arretium, Irinium. Yeah, I guess it's Irinium. They changed the name of it. We'll move our diplomat north to the Gauls. So Flavius Julius is up in the north. One unit of Equites and Hastati. So our spies open the gates. So that's a good start. We'll move you up there. I don't think we have enough military forces to go in, even though that's pretty good RNG. I don't think that's enough to take it, so we will need some more units. Let's get in some Hastati and Principe. So Cerberus is further south, so we'll probably move him down to the south. We need to build watchtowers as well, because we don't want too many rebels to spawn from our line of sight. So Tiberius and Cornelius are down here. So we'll rally up and make a second army. So going against the Gauls early on, just trying to pick up as much rebel territory. That's what we really need to do. And deal with the Samnites. And let's just try and recruit military forces where we can. Going eastward is more profitable, but we'll just sort of have to see where we get dragged. Where we go first might be dictated by the enemy AI, which is rather exciting. Okay, let's end the turn and continue. Oh my god, there's some rebels popped up there. That's annoying. Oh wow, they're actually quite large. That's a little bit harsh for turn 1. So we have ports being constructed in Rome and Capua. I'm going to trade it down in Brundisium. I'm going to move my diplomat further north to have a look at the Gauls. Okay. So they might take Genoa before we have a chance to. So we want to focus on getting Irinium. So let's move you there. We might need some more Hastati before we can take that. Move this Principe unit down here. So we'll try go for Masana. So yeah, let's move you there. Ah, Carthage have taken Masana. That's annoying. Marcus Maxentius has come of age. So, I guess this army that was heading to Sicily... We don't want to go to war with Carthage or the Greeks just yet. Yeah, Hanno there with a pretty large army. We might have to move our forces back. I think we probably should go to Apollonia. Actually, we might have to deal with these Samnite rebels. Okay. So, we're just slowly but surely moving our forces up the peninsula. As we don't have roads, we can't navigate it overly too quickly. So this time, this turn he's failed. Now, I can risk Arretium, which I think I'll do, because we'll have a fight. We'll start things off. So 2 units of Hastati and some Vilites. Good. Let's fight this one with Decius Maxentius and Flavius Julius. Our first battle of the campaign. Against the, I guess these like probably the Etruscans to the north. I can't wait to show you guys off some of the units.
Do not fear these rebel slaves. They are only slaves, and will die as easily as cattle. So, let your battle cry be, victory! Victory and glory to Rome!
Okay, well, let's take this city. So, 3 units of Hastati. Then we've got our Principe, our Equites, and our Generals unit, which is a military tribune unit. So, Decius, Maxentius, and Flavius Julius will secure the northern provinces. We just want to try and gobble up as much rebel territory early on as we can before we go to war with major factions. So, here is the cavalry, the Equites, and the Principes. Put the Principes on the ram. We'll move them further up. Just move things slowly forward. I might be better off to start the battle, then show you the units actually. and pause. There we go. So we can press K on the keyboard and show you off. Yep, so here's a better look of them. So we'll try and take Irinium. Then we'll look with this army to try and seize Patavium and Genoa. Tiberius, Brutus, and Cornelius Scipio. After Messana being taken, that does complicate things now, because they were going to go south into Sicily. I feel like a war with the Greeks and Carthaginians is probably not too advantageous just yet, so I guess we'll try and send those two to Apollonia. So move the Principes up, and we'll move the Hastati as well. There we go. Perfect. And what we'll do is we'll try and skirmish with our Pila over the wall if we can. We don't want to go rushing into the narrow streets just yet. But here are the Principe units. The Hastati. How good do they look? Man. It's such a nostalgia trip for me. Like, I have videos on YouTube from like 2012 when I was playing Roma Surrectum 2. So they're pushing up some of their own Vilites. And they should have skinned Hastati units as well, which look similar to our own. Yep. Okay. So I think what I'll do, family tree wise, is I think I'll sort by command. I did that in my Scipio campaign for the elections of faction leaders and heirs. But I'm trying to think, should I call the faction leader the consul and the faction heir proconsul, I guess? So even though they're getting their Vilite shots up over the wall, we should be able to counter them quite well. Because we have... yeah, we don't need to rush in if we don't need to. We've even got more armor than them, so we should be able to skirmish them off. That's a couple decent volleys there. And the gates have been opened. So, for this first episode, we'll deal with the Italian, Etruscan, and Samnite rebels on the peninsula. Secure our position. Try and gobble up as much rebel territory as you can. And then we'll look to go to war with a faction. But let me know in the comments, feedback and suggestions, where you'd like me to expand and conquer. But it's going to be a lot of fun this series, so strap yourselves in for a long one. So we'll use up all our Pila where we can. But as a united Rome, it's always so exciting because you never know sort of exactly where you end up, depending on RNG and what rebel territory gets taken and what factions declare war upon you. You can have a vastly different campaign. You can sort of go down the historical route of dealing with Carthage and stuff, but we'll just have to see who sort of attacks us, you know what I'm saying? We do want to, once we're in a secure and safe position, we've got a couple of armies, I would like to push into Greece, because the territory over there is just so valuable. So all of the factions at the time of recording have been reskinned with Roma Surrectum units. They still plan to update this mod and continue to polish it as well. Okay, they're hitting us here. It was taking a little bit longer for us to form up. We are using campaign map vibrance on 0. They do plan to update that as well. And we are using realistic color scheme over vibrant. The only option at the moment is realistic. Okay, so reform those up. Shame the spy didn't open the gates. Oh, the ram's gone. Oh, I was like, why are they taking so many casualties there? That's annoying. I set my ram over the right-hand side to get my cavalry in. So we're just going to have to move them in this way. So let's move Flavius, Julius, and Decius. Now they do plan to eventually bring in Senate traits and positions, but please do take into consideration it's still pretty early days in this campaign, and this is the first massive Rome Remastered overhaul mod. So we'll just wait for our units to push in, then we'll make our way into the town square and finish off those 2 Hastati units. Okay. But how fantastic do these units look? This, in my opinion, is what Rome Remastered ought to be. Okay, so let's form up here and then we'll move. Oh no, they're actually counter-charging us here, so we might have to commit in a bit quicker. Move up over there to help. So they've already pushed us. So our Principe units should be able to beat them in hand-to-hand combat. Swing you around here. And go here. We want to try and hit them from multiple attack vectors. So swing in here. So even though we start off as one Roman faction, the Italian peninsula isn't united. So instead of going against the Gauls or the Carthaginians early on, we have to consolidate our position against the Etruscans, the Samnites and their Italian allies, which is cool. It's kind of realistic. Okay, not a bad charge. And they're actually hitting us on the side there. We need more cavalry in, ideally to try and cycle charge them. Now I am open to doing more campaigns on this mod. We could play as Hellenic Egypt, we could play as the Gauls, trying to hold on to that Asia Minor Ankara territory would be quite fun. I never really gave much thought to the Dacians, the Barbarians over the Danube, but the Getae actually look like an interesting faction. And Carthage in a more united position might be more enjoyable, because Numidia is always quite huge in the campaign. They always tend to either get wiped out by the AI too early. Same with the Seleucids. Now that they have Susa, it could give them a stronger position. I think Parthia is the faction that has gotten considerably weaker. So that was not the optimal cycle charge that I would have liked there. Oh my god, one of my starter units is just getting slammed here. Now I am playing on very hard, very hard. Everything isn't meticulously balanced just yet. I did ask the mod team leader what they recommend for difficulty wise. It's basically just whatever you fancy. It's not like a Divide et Impera deal where the entire mod and the units are based around normal difficulty. So like there's one difficulty. When you move it up to hard, very hard, it starts to break the mod, so If you want to play on hard, that's perfectly fine. But once I've done a full campaign, I will know sort of the major differences. So just going back and forth here. I'm struggling to break down this starter unit, even with the faction leader. They are holding on quite well. And there we go. The enemy general's no more. They should capitulate here now then. You'd think. Hey, victory. Let's end that one there. So we'll enslave the populace because we do want to eventually get to marry and reform units. Now, the temples are based on the Julii faction, which it'd be kind of cool if they had all the temples. I imagine that'd be an insane amount of coding, but we'll go with the Temple of Ceres. I think is the best for the Julii or series. Okay, so we've taken Arretium and Arinium. We'll move the army north. We'll put a barracks in Arinium. And we'll send Decius Maxentius to Patavium. The Gauls look like they've taken Genoa, which is slightly annoying. I will make trade and get map information, just to colour our map a bit. You never know, there might be a fair few turns before we go to war with the Gaelic Tribes. Just yet. Okay, we need to deal with some of these armies in the south. Okay, we can't play this one because some of those units aren't textured yet. Hopefully the next army we can fight. So we'll just auto-resolve this one now with Tiberius Brutus, a clear-cut victory. And we have to deal with the slave rebels at Capua. So let's move some Equites in and then move north. We'll build a watchtower as well. Okay, up in the north, we're going to make our way to Patavium. Now, it looks like the Gauls are heading there as well. They've taken Genoa and Mediolanium. Yeah, I guess we race them to Patavium. It's such a crucial settlement to take. Really good wine resource and a port on the peninsula as well. That trade up through Illyria. Oh, and the Greeks have taken Messana. And the Macedonians have taken Apollonia as well. Okay, we could... Just trying to see if we've got any spare units. No. So, we'll attack this rebel army now. And... Okay. So, all those units have been textured. Sweet. So, let's fight this one. We outnumber them by about 200. We have Tiberius Brutus and Cornelius Scipio. So, let's destroy these Italian rebel scum.
My priests have watched the skies, and the birds in all the heavens move in our favor. Such good portent should never be ignored. Do not fear these rebel slaves. They are only slaves, and will die as easily as cattle. They have been brought to the battlefield by mewling infants instead of leaders. These people have yet to taste victory at my expense. Today will be no different, so lay into them with a will. And before we start, just remember, they are more scared of us, true Romans to a man, than we are of them.
Okay, we're a little bit depleted after that auto-resolve. So we have 3 units of Astarte, 1 unit of Principe, 2 Vilites, and our cavalry. So, let's just move things here. Okay. And we'll... actually... We'll put everyone on the flanks. Okay. That's fine. Alright, they seem to have the high ground. And... Mount Vesuvius is in the background. Spion, I guess. Vilites in the second line. Principes and Hastati. Now, these Samnite rebels and their Italian allies are probably going to be harder to take than those rebel Hastati. But I can't wait into the future when these sort of rebel factions are their own thing, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if they'll put Samnites and Etruscans. From what I can remember, that was in Roma Surrectum, wasn't it? Now, normally in my campaigns, I'd sort of avoid rebels because I'd like to face major factions. I just feel like there's more consequences when attacking major factions, but with this mod, it makes even these small rebel battles quite interesting because look at the units here. They are quite organised in their little defiance. So we outnumber them numerically, units-wise, but we haven't got too many men in each unit. They have 3 to our 4, but ours are yellow and slightly depleted. So let's move up. We're going to try and skirmish them as best we can, and we'll try and flank with our cavalry as well. So we're trying to race for Batavium. So Sicily might be off the books for the time being, as there seems to be a battle royale between the Greeks and the Carthaginians. They are in a stronger position in this campaign, with Athens and Massalia and a fair few others. So once we get rid of these rebels here and secure the peninsula, we're going to be building watchtowers around where we can, because that will stop their spawning. A little bit harsh with the amount of rebels spawning this early on, but it's very hard, I do understand. So I guess, what do we do with this army? Well, we can't move to Apollonia because the Macedonians have taken it, so we can't use that as a launching pad. Usually if you can take that early on, the Brutii tend to war with the Macedonians quite early on, so we might look to an alliance with them. We'll just have to see. We'll move up because we want to try and get our Vilites in range. We might need to push into the Illyrian provinces and bring them under the fold of the Roman Republic. I think, like, securing Cisalpine Gaul, that's what sort of happened early on in the Roman Republic. I think they also took Illyria and Apollonia a lot sooner than what you'd think. They sort of had that when they were pushing into Carthage. They also tended to have like Spanish territory as well. Like, you know the iconic Roman Empire as it sprawls out. I think they had Iberian territory quite early on, like southern French. Well, they were definitely allied with them. Okay. So we don't want that cavalry to charge those Vilites. Now, as we are posturing on their flanks, they're now rotating. We want to just try and get our cavalry to focus against theirs, lock them down. Their infantry's doing quite well. Trying to protect their units. It is risky moving our units in, but our very heavy tribunate cavalry should be able to perform a little bit better. Quickly now, you're getting charged there. You need to move. Move there. Okay, no one's been killed. Move the Hastati up. Okay, so they've now locked down that cavalry unit, those missile units. We're kiting those units away. Move like here, there we go. We don't want them to get caught by
the gods be praised.
Infantry if we can, and the enemy general's gone. So that should be pretty much GG for them. We should be able to pick apart their infantry now a lot easier with the Vilites there. Just move my cavalry to a safe location. So we are close enough now to skirmish these last 3 infantry units. So the Principes and the Hastati are going to get a couple of peelers shot off. Yep, those Vilites we can charge now. And And we just want to try and skirmish out those Samnite militia and hoplites. Things looked a little bit close with their infantry intertwining with their skirmishers and cavalry, but I think we're good now. We phased out the missile cav and the vilites, which would have been the major problem. Okay, let's speed things up a bit, because we just want to try and skirmish them. If we can get them to charge onto us, that would be the play. Because our peeler is just so effective early on. I do want to try and get more Principes into our army build. We've just got Hastati for now, because they're just... Look, Hastati aren't too bad, but they're just, like, quite cost effective. Okay, I just turned it off and on, the fire at will, but they are slightly actually not in range. Okay, now we should be able to skirmish against them. Swing my cavalry around into a better position, ideally. Oh, those vilites actually came back in. Hang on, they might be charging now. With the Samnite units. A little bit. Okay, now they're throwing their peeler. Which are... Particularly that we don't have too many skirmish units this early on. They're going to be vital. Okay. I might just charge now. Lock them down. Move the cavalry back. We ideally want to cycle charge with them. Hitting them from all sides should do them in. Good charge. Against the right-hand side unit. The ones actually in the centre there were able to brace. Pull out and we'll go again. You gotta give it to these rebels. Making it a hard fought battle. Taking the Capua high ground. Like the future Spartacus, I guess. Alright, let's try and peel off a bit here. Yeah, these hoplites are holding quite well. This should be a good charge here, though, now. For the Republic! And that's it. Pinned down by 2 infantry units, and the cavalry charges finish them off. And now we've ridded the peninsula of these Samnite Italian allies that have popped up. Let's get a secondary charge in here if we can. So yeah, I guess like taking Messana would have been nice, but we just can't get to it. I'm happy to let the Carthaginians and Greek cities battle it out. This army can't go to Apollonia. So I guess we go to Illyria to deal with the pirates. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, depending on how quick you are or you want to focus a certain area, like, if we went to Apollonia, we could have been at war with the Macedonians. If we went down to Sicily, we could have been at war with Carthage, all the Greek city-states early on. So, by the look of it, as we're chasing to Batavia, we're probably going to go and be at war with the Gauls more than anyone. So, but a good battle, 200 lost, and those rebels are no more. Okay, mission successful, and Tiberius Brutus has gone a +2 up in command, staking a claim to a future consulship. Okay, up in the north, we're still racing for Patavium. So the Greeks still have Massalia. We can negotiate with them. Oh, that's a shame. So, even though we've got a spy there, the Gaelic Tribes have sent 3 spear units. They have taken Genoa as well, which is annoying. I guess we move my army up snug next to it, because you never know, they could lose against those units inside. Where's the best place to deploy you? Probably here, so yeah, we just weren't quick enough. Heading north. We might have taken Iridium. Not quick enough. We still have more Principes mustering in Arretium. And let's get some Samnites and Vilites where we can. Yeah, so they could lose, I guess. And we hope we can take it. But yeah, I guess we push up to here. They built a mine there. Pushing to Illyria has actually got a pretty good gold mine. So it's Solonia, 4 units inside. Let's move Tiberius Brutus, 4-star command. Oh, no walls, thankfully. I actually feel confident to auto-resolve this one, as he's 4-star command now. And they actually built a gold mine there for me. So we've taken Solonia. And we've taken the gold mine. So Cornelius Scipio Africanus is there. We'll break down the Temple of Athena. We'll bring a temple. We'll actually build the wall first, then we'll go with the Temple of Ceres. And I think there's another settlement to the north, but it's somewhere up there, I think. Right, Greeks. Let's go with trade, map, and map. Because I want to see if they've advanced from their position.
Generous proposal.
No, we can't do anything else. Yeah. So, it's kind of cool. I kind of like that they have the Greek port city of Massilia. And they've gone up in stats. Okay, so yeah, they haven't taken Batavium yet. Yeah, we'll just see how we go. They've brought up another army here. I could attack them. No, not that secondary army, though. Julianus has come of age. Okay. Well, we've got quite a large garrison at Arretium. I think we need to bail this pursuit. We'll let them take Batavium, because we're not in a position to go to war with the Gauls. They'd swarm northern Italy. So they're probably going to take Cisalpine Gaul. I think what we're better off doing is abandoning this position and sending... Yeah, you can't even get back down to Arretium. I think he's better to push into our province of Illyria here, because technically that's Solonia. We can build a watchtower here, and we can seize that other rebel territory. Move this diplomat over. We can negotiate with the Antigonid Kingdom, which is the Macedonians. Trade map information to start things off. I'm actually tempted for an alliance with them, because we're probably going to go to war with Gaul beforehand. And now we border them with Solonia. Military access for military access. 2 turns for 800. It's quite a bit, but if we can get really good relations with them, that'll be fine. Actually, we'll request compensation, because we might be able to get some money back for that. Nothing too crazy, but we'll take that.
Thanks. Welcome, friend.
Okay. Actually, no. I was going to say I'll move him back, but I think he's probably better off going to Thrace. We do need to move this navy back to Solonia. Construction-wise, put a farm there. Alright, all good at the moment. Okay, so we've managed to find the Spanish. Let's negotiate with them. The Celtiberians. Trade and map information. If they get Barcelona or like Nova Carthago on the coast,
A most generous proposal.
we could open up a trade lane to the Iberian Peninsula. Hopefully soon to be Hispania for us. Let's end negotiations there.
Without delay. You are mistaken, sir. No.
The Dacians or the Getae have taken by Lazora. Really? Pressurizing the Macedonians to the north. I wouldn't mind making an alliance with them, because they do border us near Solonia, or they will eventually. They would be interested in it, but I fear that they're going to go to war with the Macedonians, and I choose the Macedonians. We don't want to start off the Macedonian-Roman wars just yet. So we've moved to the province of Segestia with our faction leader Decius, Maxentius, and we should be able to take it with ease and take the entirety of Illyria. Now, my army with Tiberius Brutus and Cornelius Scipio that took Illyria, the coastal region, they're heading back to Arretium now. But I don't know why the Gauls are struggling so much to take Batavium. So we'll send these guys to Arretium. I never felt fear from attack from the Gauls, just looking at those units. But it's probably not a bad idea to move my units here. But that gold mine has really helped out heaps. Okay guys, so I've skipped a little bit ahead. We have consolidated all my armies into 1.5 stacks. So the Gauls eventually took Batavium and have consolidated Cisalpine Gaul. So Decius, Maxentius, Cornelius and his son Ullius have rallied up with Legion 1, and Tiberius Brutus with Flavius Julius is there with Legion 2. It's time to go to war with the Gauls. So Lugatorex is currently in Genoa. We'll move our spy down there to try and hopefully open the gates. And we'll march against the Gauls. It is time for war. And unfortunately, they've failed to open. So let's build some battering rams, and we'll deal with those 6 or so units inside. But I wouldn't have thought the provinces, the rebel ones we would take would be in Illyria early on. I would have thought we'd have taken Apollonia or Messana, but that is the RNG of Total War. Sometimes you just don't get the rebel provinces you desired. We've ran into the Thracians over nearby Lazora. We did get some negotiations with the Dacians a couple turns before. So, let's get trade and map information with them. We should be able to open a trade lane to Constantinople, which you'd imagine would be only a small little fishing village near Byzantium. Let's see how the Gauls react. I wonder if they'll send reinforcements to Genoa, because we've still got to build that siege equipment. Yeah, so we can't get inside. We'll move you up as reinforcements when we can. The Kingdom of Pontus has been destroyed. Really? I wasn't expecting that. Maybe with the buff to the Seleucids in this mod, they don't last as long. So no Mithridatic War this time. Wait, hang on. Where did those units go? There was like... Did you see them like disappear? Lugatorex is only a governor anyway. Oh, that's a shame. We'll just auto-resolve this one then. Because I don't think that Gaelic spear unit, which has been like only like it's got the peasant unit card. Like I don't know if they're meant to be in. Like they're still working on that Gaelic Celtic unit. Now, I've been getting comments as well that I've read. Some people were curious, like, why does Gaul have a province in Anatolia so far in the south? Well, it's meant to represent Gallic Galatia, a ethnically Celtic tribe that were in the region at the time. In DEI, I think you can play as them on their own, which is kind of cool. If you want to play as a barbarian-styled ethnic faction in the far east of the map, fighting Hellenic units, then compared to Romans or like Celtiberians and men of Britannia. Okay, so that's not too happy there. But the peninsula is fine for now. Okay, we've got a diplomat heading to Sicily, and the Carthaginians we haven't negotiated with at all, so we'll make trade and map. We've got to take Cisalpine Gaul. So, making an alliance and map information, although they're my arch enemy, it's probably not a bad idea, because we can get a couple 100 gold. Because it looks like we're probably going to go to war with the Greeks in Sicily and in Massalia, probably before Carthage, just the way the campaign's going now. Okay, let's push to Mediolanum, or Menelidunum, in other campaigns. So, Epodorix. So, it doesn't have a crazy army inside. Decius can move up here. And we'll move up our reinforcements as well. So there's 3 units in the field there. The Greeks, I guess they're fighting the Gauls? I don't know. They have Massilia, so it's kind of strange to see Greek units so far north like this. But I guess that's why they're there. They're pulling back now anyway. Lucius Julius has come of age. Pretty decent commander in the north we have to watch out for there. We should be able to take the Gallic province now. Yeah, because they don't seem to be moving any forces further north. So, Lucius Julianus can bring up additional reinforcements. So, we'll send them north, because you never know, they could go down to Arretium. Okay. Yep, so they still failed to open the gates. We might be able to kill the faction leader, sorry, the faction heir for the Gauls. Yeah, we killed Lugatorex, one of the famed antagonists of Rome. So we have 4,000 against their 6. We outnumber them ridiculously. 8-1, so we'll try and run that unit down. Oh, we pushed them across the river now anyway. Oh, Julianus can... Not Julianus. His brother's Julianus. Lucius Julius can run down the stragglers. And the town's grown. Retium. Yeah, because we still need to push for Marian reforms. We do have Rome, so we might be able to get them earlier than in a normal campaign. Okay, so they are consolidating their position a little bit at Patavium. We might play that one. And that Greek army is pushing further back over to the Alps, but they also sort of are sitting on the border, which is interesting. So I could move more reinforcements in, but I think I want to make sure to cut off this Gallic retreat. So Lucius Julius can probably fight this one himself, earn some command. We do have 3,000 in reinforcements, so that was not really ought to resolve to fear. Let's move the spy to Patavium, and we'll quickly run them down. And then we'll move now to Patavium and start the siege. Move those Principes up. Oh no, we can get 1 unit over there, that's good. Let's end the turn and continue. Oh, they're annoyingly blocking my ports, cutting off a lot of my trade. So, they didn't unite in the province, for whatever reason. Okay. Even though there's 4 units there, there's only 270. So, we'll quickly get rid of that army, and then I guess... Oh, well, we can push them back into Patavium anyway. Oh, that's a bit better. That'll make a good fight. Alright, let's siege them out, build this siege equipment, and we'll fight this siege and have the siege for Patavium. And then, all of Cisalpine Gaul will fall under the jurisdiction and the governance of the Roman Republic. Now, this should be a lot easier now that we've got an abundance of Principes. They are far superior than Hastati. Getting them early on is a little bit unfair compared to those other factions because they're so good. Alright, strange conquest. By the amount of units they had hovering around, I have a feeling what's happened is there were units that they were recruiting that the mod team There's for some reason they kept on disappearing. I felt like there was like those light warband, yeah, that they were recruiting kept on disappearing for whatever reason.
Now, you're probably wondering about this evening's entertainment. There's enough wine in camp to float a boat. It's all yours when they're dead. Oh yes, and the camp women will be suitably appreciative, too. Today we fight against monsters. The Gauls. They are dangerous, mad, and hairy beyond reason. In victory, they are always heartless. They stand alone. No friend has come to this place to die for them. Does this not say something about their honor? They're standing among nations? You are one of the largest armies our people have ever sent to war. Take comfort in this, but know that it is also a burden. We are a mighty force, but mighty deeds are expected. So have no fear. Your deeds will live forever. They have been lulled into a false sense of security by a few feet of defensive wall, as if that will protect them.
Okay, let's take Batavium. And I might, after we take this, we could theoretically sue for peace with the Gauls if we want, because the Greeks stand between us and, like, what is it, like southern France, Tolosa or whatever it is. So once we've consolidated the province in the north, I think I might split my armies up, and we might make plans for the preparation of the invasion of Sicily. I've got a small military presence over in Illyria, just in case we do get attacked or betrayed by the Macedonians, which could potentially happen. You never know with these things. And we've got a fear from... Well, the thing is, once you sort of move into Illyria, you do open yourself up to... Like, it's a good province, because of the gold and the population and the slaves, but the amount of major factions you draw into their sphere of influence, like the Germanic tribes and the Getaean stuff, so you do have to be prepared to defend those provinces. You can't leave it lightly undefended like Capua or Rome, because very rarely that type of settlement is not going to get attacked. What I'd love to see is like in Rome or Surrectum 2, where there's Carthaginian armies spread about the Italian peninsula, and you have to react to those before dealing with major factions, would be cool to see. I don't know how hard that would be. I'm not a modder nor a coder. So we'll split into 3 groups. Here are the Principe. Battle hardened from taking Western Cisalpine Gaul and the Illyrian provinces. But here are the Gaelic Tribes for the first time. We'll fight them a lot more in this series when we move into the heartland of Gaul. But here they are for now. 3-pronged attack. Plenty of battering rams. And we'll do the similar tactic we did in the first siege of this video, making sure our pillar are arced up and over the top of the garrison. I do recommend, if you're playing at Rome, to use your pillar as best you can. They're so fantastic. Maybe the ammunition is slightly a little bit too high for them. Like, oh, it's great, I'm not complaining, because it smashes enemy units, but from what I can remember historically, the Romans, the Principe and Astarte units would only be able to carry 2 or 3 pila with them. The Vilites, as a game mechanic, I understand, probably want to have a couple more. But we're just going to be able to we don't even need to move up the rams. We can just move so snug up to the wall, because the AI just doesn't really know what to do, even on very hard, because they don't want to leave the walls undefended. But we should be able just to skirmish up and over. Now, even though they come back, they should be able to come... Even though they're running, they should be able to come back and forth. And let's do the same on these other sides. Even with these starter units. Yeah, but... I'm kind of surprised how easy this conquest in the west was. Yeah, I have a feeling... Just because those units kept on disappearing... That... The mod at the moment doesn't want the Gaelic faction to recruit those spearmen, the ones with the peasant card, so it just like gets rid of them. But they're in a bad position because they're not recruiting useful units because they get taken away from them. I guess that's the only thought of it. I don't know. I do understand, and I hope you guys as well, that this is an early access build, and a lot of things are subject to change. But so far, what is it, 2 weeks after release? A playable build like this and their custom units is a pretty spectacular job. So we'll speed things up. We'll sit back and relax and try and skirmish as many of them as we can. So we've already killed about 200. 17% here now, which is massive. The more we can whittle down before we engage into hand-to-hand combat, the better, because we'll lose more Roman lives. So we'll be doing daily episodes of this series, so strap yourselves in for a long one. So let me know feedback and suggestions, where you'd like me to expand and conquer. I think probably going after the Greeks and the Gauls, just because we're at war with them. We're in an interesting spot with the Macedonians because they have Apollonia, but you never know, they might push us in Illyria. We're gonna have to defend that territory. Look, if they do, we'll war deck them, but we'll see how we go. Sicily is probably gonna be where the next lot of fighting is. But even though we have the entirety of the peninsula, we don't have like a crazy amount of armies just yet. We can move up the Rams now. So cold and harsh in the north of Cisalpine Gaul here. I do believe they plan to update some of the lighting and weather and stuff in this mod. But I am open to be doing other factions as well. Hellenic Egypt now, of course, we could do, which would be a lot of fun. Maybe even someone like the Seleucids might be different. Okay, so my Principes that are equipped to the battering rams have now moved up. And they do not need to enter their breaches either. They can use their own pillar because they haven't used any of their ammunition. So we're breaking down 5 breaches. We do have to watch out for that Gallic cavalry. That is probably going to be one of their better units. Okay. But at least now they stopped that auto-adoption bug that was present in the previous builds. I don't think I'm going to marry off any of my characters' daughters. I think we'll just use... this way I used to do in Rome, the vanilla, keep the male line and the last name. So hopefully we can have a couple generations of like 2 Brutuses be consoles, pro and just console and pro console, and then like another generation of Scipii. I really like the... I actually really like the idea of putting the family members into the family tree. It adds so much role-playing capacity, and I wonder by the end of it who will be the most... who will have the most faction leaders and heirs, you know? Will it be the Scipii, the Julii, or the Brutii family? Let me know. your predictions, I guess. So we'll try and skirmish before we enter in. These Gaelic spears, or peasants, won't stand a chance. Even though technically the Scipii is Scipiones and it's the House of Cornelia. I don't mind that it's called Scipio. Personally. I don't know. I think Scipio sounds cooler than Cornelia. Alright, let's move in.
Our soldiers have captured the walls. Now is the time to press on and capture this
Okay,
place.
we probably can't get much more skirmishing off there, but we've done a quite tremendous job overall. So let's give out some attack orders and fight this Gaelic scum. I remember in the original Surrectum, the boy and the Gaelic tribes in the north, you do tend to fight them quite hard. You fight them quite a bit. They are quite tough. I do believe there's naked Gaelic warriors as well, which we have to watch out for. Yeah, because now thinking about it, I think the Romans had, like, if I had to put it on a map, it's not quite Marsali. It's like Toulouse, modern day Toulouse, Tolosa. I have a feeling you even started off with that in Surrectum. Maybe it overextends the Romans a little bit too much being there. Because the map isn't 100% accurate just yet. I don't know exactly, but I would imagine they have plans to try and extend the map. Because it was enlarged in Surrectum 2, but I'm not a mod, I have no idea how hard that would be. Or even if it's possible. They do have some feral interactive people more or less just advising on questions and stuff from what I'm aware. Like modding questions, which is nice. Okay. So they're just charging back and forth here. We don't want to push too far into the town square because they fight to the death, you know what I mean? So we've got some mud flicked up on us, pushing, and now the Gaelic horsemen are coming in. Fierce fighting has broken out in the garrison square. They're fighting for the independence of a free and independent Cisalpine Gaul. Okay, let's move you further in now. And let's speed things up. Wow, those Gaelic cavalry are really pushing us back. We just need to wrap around. But the pathfinding there isn't the best. I've mentioned this before in previous campaigns that I personally prefer overall in Total War open field battles and sieges. There goes the general. And particularly after doing a full Scipii campaign from start to finish, I will just do like coming back to Rome siege battles. I am going to try and avoid them as best I can. But in that situation, seeing as we haven't fought the Gauls yet, I want to get a battle against them, so we'll fight them. But I want to try and force land battles as best I can. They're more enjoyable for me. But it's just the pathfinding in the cities can be even though that wasn't too detrimental, that was just a little bit annoying. But now we've taken Batavium, and we can enslave the populace and disperse them. Perfect. We're in a really good situation here. We'll repair the wall. We'll actually construct a port to get some money coming into Batavium. And on that note, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching episode 1. We've had a massive episode here today. We've played for about an hour or so. We've had 3 battles as well. We have managed to rid the Italian and Etruscan and Samnite influences on the peninsula. We've also pushed up and taken Cisalpine Gaul, although we weren't able to grab territory in Sicily and Greece and Apollonia. We did manage to gain territory in Illyria, so that's disappointing, but hopefully we can take territory there. So I'm going to skip a couple turns ahead. We'll consolidate our position, and we'll look to, I think, probably march against Massalia, because we can declare war upon the Greeks, and then simultaneously maybe push to Messana. We'll attack Massalia and Messana in a pronged attack, but you never know. We could get attacked by someone. They could throw a spanner in the works. But thanks, guys. I'm going to play the outro now. Take care. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already with the bell notification on. Let me know in the comment section down below feedback and suggestions for the video. And feel free to leave a dislike. If you want to support the channel and follow me on my social media links, they are all linked in the description below. We've got the series playlist that you can access. You can also have a look at my gaming and recording equipment. If you want to get yourself some cheap games, check out the links. You can support me on Patreon if you want. Channel members are available. Use creator code SimpzyTotalWar on the Epic Games Store checkout to flick me a couple of bucks. We've got Twitter, Discord, merchandise, Facebook, Steam group, Instagram, Twitch, and Google Plus links all in the description below as well. But above all, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. Goodbye.